Didn't see that coming.
Have you seen Disney's Strange World yet? Well, what are you waiting for? We've got some serious Easter eggs to discuss. We all know that plenty of us love a nod to a galaxy far, far away, and it's clear